welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over this dresser. It is a MDF dresser, so we're going to have to sand down some of this water damage. I'm going to give it a cleaning, but I'm not going to use too much water, so I'm only going to use simple green. I'm going to spray it directly on my paper towel so I can avoid any more water damage. I don't want to put too much on here, but there are some spots that I do need to clean. So let's go. Like I said, I'm going to be spraying the simple green onto the paper towel. And I'm just going to kind of spot clean this. I don't really want to put a bunch of water on it, so let's do it. I'm going to be using a 220 grit. I really want to sand down all of these raised areas from water damage. I don't know if you can really tell, but there are some. And I also want to get all of the shininess off here. I want to make sure that my primer really sticks, and the shiny areas tells me that the primer's not going to stick very well there. So I want to really scuff it up, but I don't want to go too deep since it's not real wood, and that's why I'm using my 220 grit. Whenever I start to pull out the drawers, I also label them with what position on the dresser it is so I know which position to put it back in. And then I also take off the hardware. After I finished sanding, I wiped it all down to get a clean surface. I started priming with an Automotive filler primer, but I ran out and used the rest of my shellac can to finish off the rest of the drawers. After that, I rolled on Fusion's mineral paint. The color is Algonquin for the base of my piece. In the places that I used the Automotive primer, I had to go over and do 2 coats, but in all the other spots that had the shellac primer, I only had to do 1 coat. Throughout the video, you'll see different pieces and not just the dresser. That's because I was working on this dresser set. I was working on a nightstand, a tall dresser, and a long dresser, so I kind of put all of the footage together. When I forgot to film on one piece, I would film on another. So that's why you'll see the nightstand appearing a little bit here, and you'll also see the other dresser as well. Next up is the glaze. So I applied the glaze with just a normal paintbrush, and then I went over it with a deck staining brush that you'll see next. And then after that, I went over it with a corn husk broom, I think it's called. It just gives it more texture and gives it more of that wood grain look. After letting the glaze sit overnight, you're supposed to let it sit for 8 hours, but I let it sit overnight and came back the next night to do my top coat. I did a polyacrylic top coat by Minwax, and I ended up doing 3 total coats. In between coats of primer, paint, and top coat, I use a 40 grit sandpaper to knock off any imperfections. That way you get that smooth feel when you're done. And here's how it turned out. If you like it, please leave me a comment and like and subscribe for more videos, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.